Hello, work life warriors. I hope you're doing well. So today I want to try something different. I got my new fun wig for my fun shops or just for my videos. I like to play dress up. And so I thought it would be fun for me to talk about a topic while I take down these curls to make it more presentable. And so I picked a topic that I've been thinking about for a long time, but will probably be a long video. So you get to see me play in my hair or this wig, play with this wig while I'm talking about a topic. So this is a little different, but I do tend to do this off camera. I just haven't posted any of them. So I thought this time I'll try something new. So today's topic is obviously playing, which again aligns with why I have on this week. And I kind of just want to talk about playing in life and how the roles of playing change as you grow. So it reminds me of this quote by William Shakespeare that I want to start with and kind of just go on from there. So the quote is, all the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and they have their entrances. And one man in his time plays many parts. And so when I heard this when I was younger, I thought that was just brilliant because I believe that I would see like different people obviously in my life playing different roles. My mom played a parent. She was also, a businesswoman because she worked. Um, and so I've seen her play many roles in life. And so that was kind of to me, it was just second nature to know exactly and intimately what that meant. And so, even when you think about it as a kid, when we are kids, we are just authentically ourselves. And we look at the adults in our lives and we think, like, oh, they're playing a role, and I can't wait till I can grow up and do the same thing. A lot of little girls tend to like dress up in their mom's clothes and, wear her shoes and her makeup because they understand that people are playing roles and it's not necessarily who they are. It's just a role that they're playing. And so we see kids play make believe all the time. I remember when I was a kid, I used to watch different shows that I enjoyed. And I used to be like, that's me, that's me. If I like one of the characters, me and my sisters or my cousins would be like, that's me, because we realized, like, again, we are playing dress up and we can actually be any role that we want. And so we would go, that's me, and we would play imagination or whatever, play with our imagination or use our imagination to play. And we were imagine being different people, like, oh, when I grow up I'll be a doctor and I'll act like this, and I'll do this and I'll have kids. And back in the day, it was so cool. This before we had truth facts that, we thought it was so cool if you smoke cigarettes. And so you was like, oh, I'll smoke cigarettes and I'll be smart and I'll live alone and I'll drive this car and I'll do that. And then we would continue to like progress through elementary school and middle school and high school. And then suddenly we forget that we are playing roles. We begin to like live through these roles, define ourselves through these roles. They become like status markers for us. And so like you see it probably somewhere around middle school, you start hearing people making fun of other people's shoes that they're wearing, the clothes that they're wearing, the cars that their parents drive, and so on and so forth. And people will start to identify with these things as if that these are who they are, or these things make up who they are. And as we progress more and more, the older we get, we really start to believe these things, and we stop playing make believes, and we really become these roles, and we they become our identity, and we begin to identify with like the things we have or the roles that we have, or the material things that we have, or the things that we can accomplish. We begin to identify with these things and think that they are who we are. So as life progressed, we begin to compete with people instead of cooperating and play like we used to do when we was kids. We knew we was playing make believe, so we would cooperate and play with each other and enjoy each other. And the biggest part was connecting. It wasn't necessarily about like anything more, but walking up to a person like you want to play and y'all enjoying each other's company. But as you progress and you begin to identify with these things, you want to compete. You want to compete so that you can get more status, you can get more love, you can be more acceptable, you can be more lovable. And we forget about all the benefits that come along with, cooperating, because we are social creatures. And so cooperation benefits us all. No man is an island, and nothing that we have as human beings, we did it all on our own. We are far removed from that. So even like you just eating a meal, if you go to the grocery store, you had no hands in getting these things to the grocery store. All you're responsible for is just picking them up and preparing them, when that necessarily wasn't the case. And so we again tie our identities to these things and begin to think that this is who we are, so that when we have a loss of these things, or we compete in, or things don't go in the way we think, or if it leads to failure, we think it's who we are. If we get ridiculed or fired, or someone says something harsh or criticizing to us, again, we think that this is who we are, and so we take it personally. We've read many stories about people being fired from jobs and them letting it hit their self-esteem, because they believe that that they are this job, or the embarrassment of it. Or so many times we want to try something new or do something new, but we're so afraid that we'll make a mistake and we'll be ridiculed and judged, and people will say awful things about us, that we don't necessarily do what we really want to do. And we kind of just settle and conform, because we don't want to risk upsetting people, or risk being mistreated from not having status in the world, or being looked at a certain way. And again, we forget that the role that, first of all, we are just born, and nothing that we can do makes us worthy or not worthy, and what we do cannot add or take away from our value as human beings. And so we tend to like forget that we're in a role, and we stop having fun in the roles that we're in. We start taking them seriously. We identify with them. We compete. We don't enjoy the experience that we are having, because we're too busy trying to chase tangible things to prove our worthiness, or prove that we're worthy of being loved. And this is a real problem. And so I started realizing, like, oh, just like a kid, human being, well, not just like a kid, human beings are Natonius, which means that we're forever juvenile. Unlike other mammals, we have the ability to play until we die, so we don't necessarily have to grow up. It is a choice. And so when we begin to take these things of life so seriously, and act like we can't fail, or we can't risk failing, or we can't risk ridicule or anything like that, then we believe these roles. We think that we are the doctors, and we are the lawyers, and the moms, and the husbands, and the wives, and we believe that these are us, instead of it just being a role that we do. And it's so dangerous when you're just existing, going through the motions, try to obtain and compete for resources that are abundant, and not even enjoying the experience that you're having, because you identify with these roles, and not realizing that you are just playing a role. And so again, I started realizing maybe about 10 years ago, like, oh, we all just playing roles. We're all just children. We should play more. We should not identify with these roles in life. We should do the things that we did as children that we enjoyed, that made us happy, that made us excited about waking up and enjoying the day. As a kid, you did not wake up and dread, your responsibilities for the day. It was an opportunity to play. And although we have responsibilities, we don't have to be dead serious about work. Work can be fun, it can be playful, especially when you realize, like, oh, this is just a role that I'm playing. It is not who I am. And I realized that. And so now, and whatever it is that I'm doing, I realize that I am the person that is listening, and that person cannot be expressed. And so everything that I'm doing is just a role that I'm playing. And I should enjoy playing this role instead of taking it so seriously and letting it stress me out and affect my well being and making me feel like I'm not worthy or unlovable because I am not meeting the expectations of the society that we live in. And so I started to authentically go back to the things that made me happy as a child, the things that brought me laughter and joy. And one of the things is um, play, like dressing up. And so I always enjoy dressing up and trying on grandma's clothing and my mom's clothing and playing in makeup and having me a good time with makeup. I always enjoyed that. And so I was like, I'm gonna get back to costume playing. And mostly this happened as a result of my niecey Pooh. She likes to dress up as well. And sometimes she'd be like, Auntie, can you dress up with me? And so I was like, yeah, I used to love dressing up as a kid. And so let's try it. And so I would dress up with her and she would have such a good time. And I would have such a good time. It would take me back to like being a kid and just kind of like enjoying yourself and enjoying your experience. And I just had so much fun doing it that I just started, investing in makeup because I really didn't wear like a lot of makeup and I just wear it for costume play. And I started investing in wigs because I really do like to look different. I always like to look different. That was like one of my favorite things was to show up and look different. So it's always an opportunity to, when you are playing and realizing that this is just a role that you're playing in society, whether it's an employee, a parent, a student. You're playing a role. This life is a stage. We all have our interests, we all have our exits. But we should enjoy this experience that we're having because it's authentic to us. Only we can experience our experience. No one else can experience what we are experiencing quite like us. Even if we're doing the exact same thing, doesn't mean that we're experiencing it the exact same way. And so I just love the idea of, showing up, doing in society the things that make me happy, even if they deem, ridiculous or crazy to society. And people think like, oh, it's unprofessional. And again, to me, those are just people who forget that they are playing dress up and they really are believing the roles that were here before you got here, especially with certain dress and style of wear. And a lot of this stuff was here before you got here, and it'll be here before you here. But if it doesn't, I mean, it'll be here after you gone. But if it does not serve you, why continue to do it? Why continue to do things that don't serve you? If playing dress up makes you happy and other people think you crazy, would you rather be miserable so people don't think you crazy, or be happy and enjoy the things that you like? And you don't have to just limit it to, being in your own house. If you are confident in your experience and you want to go out and share the things that make you happy with the world, you entitled to do that. You do not have to be What anybody wants you to be, the only thing you have to be is yourself, regardless of what people think about you or think who you should be or how you should show up. Again, there are 7 trillion people, 7 billion people in this world. And just with your spouse or your children, it is hard to be everything that they want you to be. So how can you be what your company needs you to be, your friends, your family, or the 7 billion people in this world? How can you show up and be what they need you to be while neglecting yourself? That is not an authentic experience. It is not ideal, because again, you're the only person you have to answer to at the end of your life is you. And so if you're not happy with your experience, and as you're experiencing it, you're not happy, and you decide to cater to other people or conform, at the end of your life, you are the person who has to live with your consequences. And so it's very important for you to recognize, like, this is an experience that I'm having, and I can show up and enjoy it the way I want. I don't have to take it seriously. I can work as hard as I play. I could be the change I want to see in this world. I could bring joy to the situation. I can bring laughter, play. I can carve out time in the day to do the things that I love, to bring me happiness, to bring me joy, and I can be authentically me, and it's more than enough. And so, again, don't forget that the roles that you are playing are just roles. They're just characters. It's not who you are. And so, if you want to honor this experience, the best thing you can do for yourself and for the world is pursue and do the things that make you feel good, to fill up your cup, to bring you joy, to help you enjoy this experience, because it is a shared experience. And if you are positive and engaged and productive and enjoying this experience and you love it, then that's what you'll add to the world. But if you hate it and you're miserable, you'll add misery to the world. And again, it is our responsibility to um to add in our lives the things that we need to enjoy our lives. And regardless of what people have to say about it or who people think you should be, again, 7 billion people cannot define you unless you give them permission to do so. It's in your best interest for you to define who you are, what characters you want to play, what roles you want to play, and enjoy your life, and try to be authentic so that it is contagious for other people to enjoy their lives. As long as you're not physically hurting someone, um, people should mind their business. How you show up and how you choose to be is your business. And it really shouldn't matter what other people think, as long as it's working for you, it's beneficial to you, it's serving you. And as long as you feel your best and your most confident, so you can go out and serve the world. So please tell me, how do you play? Have you noticed that a lot of the things that bring you fun and enjoyment in the world may be frowned upon? Uh, are you determined to do the things that bring you joy, even if people don't understand it? So I hope this helps, work life warriors. I actually like I like colorful things. I like colorful hair. I have some more I have some other videos I'm probably gonna put out, the purple one and the green one. But I'm also got some other colors coming out. I have a pink one and a red one that I'll kind of try to do this with you all. This was kind of fun. Did you enjoy it? I know it's a little different. What do you think about the talk? How you like the wig? And is this something that you would like to see more often, or is it a little bit too much? You want me to just come and surprise you with the wig, like, pow, look at it, I'm cute? Or did you enjoy the talk and fluff? I'm not really sure what to call it. But I do like this wig. It's a little weird with the background. If the background was black, it would look better. It's going to get bigger, and I also think like the bigger it gets, it's going to be cuter. I really like it. And yeah, it's like Mad Hatter orange, and I think it makes my skin pop. I like it, and I'll continue to wear it in other videos and outside because I think it's cute and it brings me happiness and joy. And Mad Hatter is like one of my favorite characters of all time. So like this is like paying homage. So anyway, work life warriors, I hope that helps. I hope you had a good time playing with me as I did a little cosplay, a little costume play, dress up time. Enjoy your day, work life warriors.